Right.
It's just out there.
And it's like being an accountant or a dentist, except people aren't shooting at you. Seriously, I mean, are people like, I mean, the cops aren't just people that pull you over on the side of the road and give you a lot of crap and a ticket on Christmas Eve in front of Costco because you forgot to stop.
You know what I
Oh wait, that was me.
You know what I think's really,
Uh-oh.
what I think is really important here. We've got a couple of guys that lead these unions that everybody's hearing all this talking head stuff going on. They paint them as big union bosses, whatever that's supposed to mean. And these are a couple of regular guys that are rationally explaining the terms that nobody else has heard, because you've got bullies out there that have been doing nothing but trying to spin up the rhetoric and turn people against our own public servants. And you're right, you know, they're worth every penny, and they have been very fair and reasonable in what they do. But I think that is a big part of the discussion, and unfortunately, I think it's a big part of the strategy going into this assembly election cycle, that they've been trying to paint this as their big issue. And I mean, I really think we need to talk about that. We need to talk about, you know, a little bit about the candidates, about who's backing whom and why. And when you really look at the candidates that are out there, and the ones that to me look like nothing but rubber stamps for the mayor, who he's getting behind and who he's doing fundraisers for, and you look at the other guys who they're trying to paint as these big union sympathizer, liberal. Look at the other three they're talking about. They're hardly that. These are guys that are middle of the road, probably a little more conservative, the ones that actually some of the unions are backing. And these are moderate guys that I think will be good for the public discourse, that can have civil dialogue, that will look at these contracts fairly instead of getting all spun up because somebody has an agenda. And I think we really need to talk about that.
Well, I think it's really irresponsible too, to paint you and the people that work with you, the fire department, and you and the people that work with you, the cops. I mean, you pull someone over by the side of the road and you're a patrol cop, and you walk up to the car and it's, say, 3:30 in the afternoon, and they've got their station on the guy that hates unions, and they're doing this to you, and the reason for this is because of this, and all this rhetoric that your life in Anchorage is being destroyed by the unions, the cops, the firemen, although they don't like to mention the cops and firemen. They want to mention Larry Bell and yourself, afl-cio. They want to like make it out as this, well, some yahoo in a car doesn't know any difference that you're not Larry Bell or what, you're just part of the union,
right,
and you're the reason we're broke, and he's busting his ass to pay his property taxes so they can go to a party planner and a no contract insurance crap. And what is he, how much respect does he have for the guy walking up to his car that goes, "Sir, do you know your taillight's out? Can I see your license and registration?" I mean, I think it's actually making a disrespectful environment for people that have their butts on the line.
Yeah, I think Tom brought up a good point earlier about the commander-in-chief analogy. I think it's important for elected officials to honor and value people in public service, whether it's police and fire or other members of the municipal staff, whether they're represented or not. And in our case, we're available in private to discuss matters about health insurance or things bargaining. That way we can leave the employees that are out there doing that job every day and the public to have positive interactions. And if we're going to have a problem over a financial issue, let's do it kind of in quiet and then bring it forward to the public and let people either ratify or vote on these agreements. But that's what contracts and stability are all about, to take away that uneasy feeling that some folks are essentially trying to generate. And you're right, it's very unhealthy.
There's, you know, a couple notions, you know, with the atmosphere they've created, and they always say, you know, hey, we need to be like the private sector. I don't think Microsoft berates their employees, you know, on a daily basis. They want the best and brightest, you know, people at Microsoft or Boeing or wherever it is. And you know, I guess we're police and fire here. And I've always looked at the fire department, you know, you can scrap the fire department and whatever our budget is, you can save that money in taxes. The insurance companies are going to get double that. You know, you're saving money. Actually, you're actually saving money by having the fire department. By having a police department and having a safe city where you feel comfortable to walk downtown and visit these businesses and spend your money, people are benefiting from that. Because the roads are plowed.
The small business owners.
The small business owners, because the roads are plowed by the operating engineers, and because people ride the buses and get downtown and get to, I mean, that's a society.
Right.
And who do you think's investing in these small businesses? It's these guys. It's the
Right.
ones with decent wages and
Do you guys
benefits.
have remote starts in your car?
I do not.
I'm just saying, it's like
I don't
you know,
either.
Or do
I've heard of 'em.
Or do your kids take hockey lessons? Or,
Oh, yeah.
Or you go to Aces games. Do you do these things that benefit everyone? You're part of, and what is it? Taxes that you pay are what you buy, how you buy society or a civilized society. And I think that it's just rhetoric at this point, and it has really little to do with the truth. I don't really think that the people that are out there spouting have anything against you or anything against you.
No.
I think what they have is a mission to try to win for their political party, and they're finding that slipping because common sense is starting to seep in a little bit further than rhetoric. I really think it is, and it's not in these positions, and that's why it's painful for me to hear it. It's just simply not true.
One of the things, though, that if you take the politics out of it, and I know we're in the political arena, but conservative doesn't have to mean cheap. And I think there's a difference there where conservative has been identified by some as cheap. It means I have to be cheap, and I have to cheap and scrape every nickel and get everything I can from everybody. Where, and this notion like the private sector, no, that's not how they operate.
Right.
They pay their employees, they attract the best. The fire department that we had built, and we have a great fire department here, and the elected officials have put a lot of money into it, and it's gone down since, I would say, our high point. But we have one of the best cardiac save rates in the country. We have the stats to back this up. It's not just me, cheering for the fire department.
Right.
I'll do that all day long, but we have the stats to show it. But the public benefits from that, and it's going downhill, and people, you won't see it tomorrow, and you won't see it the next day, but in 3 years, the next mayor or somebody is going to look and go, my God, I have to hire 100 people.
Right, and it's going to be really hard to get them in.
You
We've
will-
got to run to a break. I just want people to think about this on the break while they're watching all the commercials, because they're really good, I'm sure. Do you really want someone with minimum wage, at minimum wage, who doesn't have health benefits, being the one to come in and get you out of a burning building, or to pull you over with a gun, or to, I don't know, be an airplane mechanic? I don't. I want people that are, getting paid what they're worth. And you're right, it's not about being cheap. I mean, it's about getting your bang for the buck and not being wasteful and buying party planners. Just saying. All right, we'll be right back. Stop it. Come on. No, I'm kidding. Welcome back. I'm Shannyn Moore, and this is More Up North. And we have come to the part of the show that I really like. Not that I didn't like all the other ones, but I make you wait for my favorite part. These are questions for our audience, and you're welcome to come down and ask your own Thursday nights at 5:30 at Bernie's Bungalow upstairs. Okay.
Is this a lightning round?
This is a lightning round. Who wants to be my phone-a-friend? Hello? Okay. I listen occasionally to right-wing radio.
Ew.
Me too. 5 minutes a day, so you don't have to.
That's my question.
Every time they talk about baggage and the big bad unions, they never ever mention who the unions represent. That's true.
Who do they well, obviously, they represent firefighters and cops, but there's also a bunch of other, there's a lot of unions. The IBW does a lot, ML&P is mostly IBEW. There's
Right, they never specifically talk about, the men and women who work at the fire department are robbing us blind.
Yeah.
It's extortion from the cops. Yeah, they don't really do that.
no,
It's a lot easier to attack the structure than it is the individuals and the work that they do.
Well, and if all you're doing is shilling for your party, well, then that's really what you do. No
There's
offense to
several, but
people that are in that party.
But there's several other unions too.
How much money did the inexperienced contracted personal party planner for Dan Sullivan cost in terms of hazmat? I think this is a question about the special teams that the fire department goes out. And I'm not trying to put anyone on the hook. However, I do know that her $6,100 of non-experienced party planning for the mayor, from was 34 days of special teams. Can you talk about I know you don't want to talk about